Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I'm all about the gluten-free and vegan eats, and today we're going to be making carrot cake. Let's get to the first step, which is we're going to grate our carrots and we're going to prepare our flax eggs. Let's go. So we have our flaxseed meal here, Bob's Red Mill. This one is certified gluten-free. We're going to do 2 tablespoons and 6 tablespoons of water. And I'm just gonna give this a little mix so everything gets saturated. And then I'm going to just set this aside and we're going to do our carrots. I have peeled and washed my carrots. I just did 2 for now. Actually, I'm gonna use the smaller grating side. Okay, I've done about 3 carrots. I'm just gonna set it aside for now. We'll measure it later and we'll put all of our dry ingredients together. Now, I shouldn't say all of our dry ingredients because in fact, we are not putting all of the dry ingredients in. We're not putting our brown sugar in here. 1.5 cups of 1-to-1 gluten-free flour. 1/2 cup of all-purpose gluten-free flour. 1 teaspoon baking powder. 1 teaspoon baking soda. And we can go ahead and preheat our oven now to 350 degrees. 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, and 1 teaspoon of nutmeg. Let's give it a whisk. 1.5 cups of brown sugar. Now I just kind of loosely packed that. All right, before I add the carrots, I'm just going to go around and kind of mix this in. That way I can ensure the sugar is evenly distributed before we put the carrots in, which the carrots are wet. If it bothers you, there's some like bigger clumps of sugar. I like to go through and just kind of break up the big chunks of sugar. Okay, that is looking much better. We have a very sand-like texture. And no big giant clumps. Alrighty, let's grab our carrots now and boom! So the reason I like the smaller grated side is because it releases the moisture faster into the batter there. And it also just blends in so nicely into the cake or muffins that you're making. You could definitely make this. So we're gonna do a square pan today. You could definitely make it into muffins, mini muffins, actual cake pans if you're gonna do a carrot cake. Very versatile, okay guys? Okay, so we need 2 1/3 cups of grated carrots. You wanna be really careful that you don't overfill the cups or really pack them. You wanna make sure it's loose because I've definitely packed the cups full and the cake was very too moist, you know, if you've made something too moist with too much liquid, can happen with putting too much juicy vegetables or fruit into the batter. So here's our 1 cup. Actually, this might just be perfect. I did 3 carrots, 3 medium-ish sized carrots, and I think this might just be perfect. That will be good. 2 cups. Okay, so I'm going to switch to a wooden spoon now, and we're just going to make sure that this is all covered and coated. And what you want is, basically the carrots are going to start releasing their moisture and the water out of them. There's not that many liquid ingredients because the carrots have a lot of moisture in them. So we're just going to make sure they're all coated. What we're going to do is just set it aside. And we're going to just put our wet ingredients in a separate bowl. First up is our oil. We're going to do 1/2 cup. You could try substituting applesauce, but I would only do half. So 1/4 cup of oil and 1/4 cup of applesauce if you're going to try that. I don't think I've tried that, but I do think it could work. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. I'm just using my tablespoon from the flax egg. Might not put all that in there. I'm just gonna whisk this, try to emulsify. And then we're going to go ahead and just add our flax meal. So this is what it looks like now. pretty goopy and liquidy. I'm gonna add that in here. Let's mix this up. Alrighty, this next step is optional and also could have been done probably before when we did our flax eggs, but it's fine, it is optional. I'm going to just break up a few walnuts, and I like to just use my fingers and just kind of crush them. And you could do up to a cup of walnuts. I'm probably just gonna fill this little cup, so I would estimate it's more of like maybe half a cup. Let's add our wet here, still really mixed together, to our dry. Now, I don't know if you could tell, but you can see there's a little bit of wetness now. It's definitely not as dry as it was before. Okay, let's add in our wet. Let's give it a little mix. That looks good. You want to aim for a nice thick batter. We're going to add in our walnuts here and just fold them in. Now we're going to pour our batter. I have an 8x8 square pan here, and we're just going to pour it all in here. We're just going to now spread it out a little bit as best as you can. But once it starts baking, it will spread out as well, so I wouldn't be too worried about it being perfect. Let's put it in the oven. It's 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 40 minutes. Alrighty, our timer is up, 40 minutes down, and you know the drill. We are going to toothpick test right in the middle. Oh yeah, I already know. I could already tell. Oh yeah. Okay, we're gonna leave it to cool in the pan for about 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna lift it out and set it on a wire rack on the table to do the rest of the cooling. I know traditionally you make cream cheese frosting. Okay, I don't have any cream cheese right now, but I do have a video and I'll link it. I have a video of frostings, different kinds of frostings and cream cheese frostings in there. So I'll link it there. You can go check it out if you want to make that to top your carrot cake. Now, the carrot cake is perfect, delicious, beautiful, without anything, okay? But I've never had it with whipped cream before, and I have a container of silk whipping cream that I really need to use because it's going bad. Okay, I mean, I don't know about going bad, but like it's expired. So let's whip up some whipped cream now. Alrighty, here is our whipping cream. I use silk. This stuff is amazing. It's so good. It literally expired in August, but I just opened it like a week ago, so I'm really hoping it's still good. I'm not gonna shake it because let's see. Oh my god, it looks amazing inside. Smell test. Smells delicious. Okay, so as you can see, I have not used that much of it. So I'm gonna just measure it out so that you guys have some type of reference, because this is just going to be throw some of this in, some vanilla and some icing sugar, and that's whipped cream for you. Give this a shake. There's a good layer of foam there. That's a cup. So let's throw our cup in here. Then we have half a cup there, but I just wanted to let y'all in on something, okay? I've seen people that move to Canada struggle on TikTok. These obviously you're not supposed to open them any other way other than the lid, but we do have milk cartons like we used to get in school that are about this size, and we used to drink them at school, and what you would do is flip the flap, and like I said, this is not supposed to do this, but da-da, you can. And then you scoot it. So you could actually, you know, do that and then try to get every last drop out. On the other side, and wow, look at that coconut cream in there. I think I'm gonna have to scrape that out and add it in. Since this is more than a cup of whipping cream, I'm gonna do a teaspoon and a bit. Yeah, there, teaspoon and probably a quarter. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and beat this. This stuff goes pretty fast, so maybe 2 minutes maximum. So I'm gonna beat it till it gets thicker, but not fully yet. Okay, Now, as you can see, that was so fast. It was like 30 seconds. We're already getting very thickening. Okay, so I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna add some sugar now. My sugar is very like, it's older. It's been exposed, so it's not very light and fluffy and it's very clumpy. So I'm just gonna grab a sift. I'm going to start with 1/4 cup-ish. I'm just gonna sift it through here into our whipping cream. Beat again on high. Okay, that is looking really good. Let's taste test it. It is a little bit, it is actually really thick. So, tastes perfect. You don't want it too sweet. You also don't want to overbeat this because it will end up just going completely flat. So I think I'm just gonna leave it like this for now. It is good enough for me. I don't want to risk overbeating it and then it just literally turning back into liquid. It really helps too to put this in the fridge, chill it, it will get nice and thick too. And that was a total beating time of probably like maybe 2 minutes. All right, here is the inside. Look at that. Oh, it looks so good. You see the walnut chunkies. I'll put some of the whipped cream on top and then we'll give it a taste. It's nice and stable. Scooped really nicely, not melty. Little reusable fork here. Get some whipped cream. A little bit of, oh, maybe I'll eat a part of it without. God, walnut, delicious. That's actually really nice with the whipped cream. I'm kind of surprised. Soft, sweet, moist, carroty. Seasoned. You want to be really good too? Just butter, like warm it up. Put some butter. If you like if you made it into a loaf pan, that would be so good. Oh yeah, and the whipped cream. I forgot to tell you guys. I don't find it taste like coconut at all. I'm pretty sure it's a coconut based whipped cream, but I don't find it taste coconutty at all. The perfect carrot cake. I do have a recipe for the cream cheese frosting, which would be amazing on here as well. So make sure you check out that video. And that will be it. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something new. Hope you make this recipe. And I will see you in the next video.